Hello, everyone. I'm back. I'm not certain what was happening. Hi, everyone. So I'm back. We're going to try this again. I did attempt to start before and I got a message I wasn't familiar with. This is actually the first time I've gone live with these messages, or at all, really. I usually just record without an audience and share. So this is the weekly Dragon Card series. So if you've been following along, welcome back. If you are new to this series with me, welcome. The dragon card for this week is the Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. So the Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. And these dragons are enabling us to access our deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to us as we develop our psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. So, ineffable soul knowledge is, just going to remind myself of the definition of that. So, the ineffable soul knowledge is something that is too great or extreme to be expressed or described in words. So I do hope that if anyone is out there watching, that this is coming across, the video is coming across well, and you are able to hear and see me. I am getting an action required relative to, I think, resolution, but I'm going to keep going. So the biggest impression, the strongest impression coming through as I pulled this card, this is kind of following along with many of the messages that have been coming through with recent cards. So we are on, again, this ascension journey and we're going deeper. Few of the cards have come through a second time with that opportunity to go deeper. This is the first time this card has come through in this series. And, with the sort of direct metaphors of being in the deep ocean, there is that message going deeper with the healing process. This time of year, as we close out a year and move into a new year, it's kind of like that contemplative season, that hibernating season. We just kind of go within in that sense. Yes, we do have time where we spend with family and we're fellowshipping and enjoying the company of others in that regard. But in this message, it is relative to that sort of going within, that hibernating, that introspection, that self reflection. So, as we are doing that and accessing our deepest soul wisdom, we are going deep enough to a place where we might not even be able to describe the words of where these healings are coming from. We are at a stage in our human ascension where we're connected in with our higher consciousness and our higher wisdom to the point where sometimes it might not be something that you can describe in words, but you have a knowing, or you have a gut feeling, or you have an intuitive hit. And again, you may not be able to have the words to describe what's happening, but you have that knowing. So this is what is the impression when it's talking about receiving that ineffable soul knowledge, that it's too great, it's too deep, it just doesn't have words, to the place where it doesn't have words. And that is okay, because in general, our spirit doesn't necessarily need us to name everything as we are releasing and letting go of it. Often we feel like we have to define it and articulate it before we let it go, but we actually don't need to do that. We can simply hold that intention and let it go. So the aquamarine dragons from Neptune, ironically enough, they're from Neptune and in the deep ocean. So they are helping us to get to these really intense depths of healing, so that we can really set ourselves up in this new year coming to really set up those new definitions of ourselves, those new frameworks on our aligned path and purpose. And again, as we are in this sort of next, even this next stage of ascension, we are more directly tuned in and tapped into our higher wisdom, our higher consciousness, our deeper innate wisdom from within. And that is what is available to us, that we are drawing upon in this introspective contemplation, hibernation kind of place that we are in right now. And again, just some direct metaphors here. This dragon is holding a key, so this is the key. This is the next key to our transformation and healing. And there is this gem. That's the keyhole. So the key is for that keyhole, and that's in our heart center. So again, along with other cards that have come through recently, doing this from that heart-centered place, we will only be able to be that reflective light for others when we are able to heal ourselves first. So getting to the roots of those deepest triggers, getting to the roots of those deepest traumas, getting to the roots of those deepest mindsets and frameworks that really have defined us before, that are no longer sustainable as our frequency rises. So, and again, you know, there is so much going on astrologically with the cosmos, with this 3-eye Atlas comet, whatever that is, that's coming into our atmosphere, not atmosphere, but into our solar system. And so as these cosmic things are happening and affecting the frequency of humanity and the planet and our solar system, we are impacted by that, whether we are feeling it or sensing it directly or not. So it is stirring some of these deeper things up, and this is a great opportunity to heal. So these aquamarine dragons from Neptune are stepping in and offering their assistance to really help us release and almost go through. It's kind of like you know, when you get, in some cultures, there's what is a baptism, or you get baptized, or you get like water washed over you. So in that kind of a sense, not religiously, but just in the sense of letting that healing wash through us, to let go, to really let go. And to the degree that it's even, you know, let it sink into the degree that it even soaks in through the skin and into the bones and into the muscles and into the blood, and let it wash through us in that sense, even on a cellular level, and just let it release that way. And again, we don't need to name it. We can just intend to let go of those things that no longer serve us. As we know, our frequency is rising, those things are bubbled to the surface, that lower frequency energies bubbled to the surface. And as we intend for that energy of these dragons to just wash that out of our system, it does not need to be named. So my name is Gia, and I am an intuitive. I'm a psychic, energy reader and healer. And if you would like to work with me directly, I can offer a personalized reading for you with the invitation of the energy of these aquamarine dragons from Neptune. We can do a healing session together. And if you reach out to me this week, I can offer a discount on that reading. It can be scheduled for any time whatsoever. It is a busy time of year, this holiday season. So I'd love to offer that for you. Now, this series is also still guiding me to look at symbols. And as I've talked about before in other videos, symbols are a tool that I use in my practice. It is a way to look at energy, to stabilize the energy we want to look at, to consolidate the energy we want to look at, whether this energy is going to be something that affirms something that's going on for us, that the dragons and spirit want us to reflect on and remember and embody carrying forward, or it could be energy that the dragons and spirit are highlighting as something that would be useful to move out of the way, move out of our energy field. So I am going to do that now. And typically in my other recordings, I've paused the recording. I'm not going to pause the recording because it's live. So what I would invite you to do as I tune into what this symbol is, you can watch how I do that, so you'll get a behind the scenes look, so to speak, on how I do that. But I invite you to reflect on this message and think about how this may apply to your personal life in ways that you move through your life as the beautiful soul that you are, having human experiences. And are there ways in your work environment, in your family environment, in your home environment, thought processes that you have, belief systems that you're questioning or challenging? I invite you to reflect on those things. Hi, Maria. Hey, Tanya. Thanks for joining. This is a new arena for me, so thanks for joining. So I'm just getting ready to tune into a symbol that these aquamarine dragons from Neptune want us to take a look at. And you will notice that I'll go silent for a little bit. I'm just tuning in, and then I'll let you know what the symbol is, and we'll talk about the messages that come through as I clear and heal that symbol. So, all right, here we go. So yeah, as I tune into what this symbol is, reflect in your own life about what this means to you, enabling you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. Hi, Angie. All right, so I'm just going to ask these dragons for a symbol, please, on this day, December 14th, 2025. Please show me a symbol that represents whatever is aligned to come through today for this group and anyone that will be watching this video going forward. Okay, so the symbol that is coming through, it's a spoon, and it's a silver spoon, but it's somehow, it's very tarnished, and it's somehow already in a process of disintegrating somehow. So what is coming through, I'm just going to go ahead and ground this symbol to the center of the earth. And I'm going to infuse this symbol with healing energy. So there's a frequency of energy that I usually start out with, and it is golden, a golden healing frequency of energy. And just infusing this symbol with this energy. It's grounded to the center of the earth on this day, December 14th, 2025. So the first message that's coming through as I'm healing this symbol is it's really tarnished, really old. It's been up in the attic, on the shelf, tucked away in the back forever, and it's like we don't need it anymore. So there's this notion that for a long time we've been spoon-fed a lot of things that just don't fit with what we want to eat anymore. So it's like the spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Well, we're not going to take that medicine anymore. So we are at a place where we are gaining this wisdom. We're connecting in and tapping in and tuning into our higher consciousness wisdom, which is allowing us to discern what things we want to digest, what things serve us and what things don't. And so the fact that this silver spoon has been forgotten about, it's like, okay, we're done with that. We're done with being, it's a silver, finely ornate kind of spoon, and like that's sort of like the illusion of it all. Actually, as I'm continuing to heal this symbol, what I'm discovering is it's actually silver plated, so it's not actually pure silver. So there's that sense of like being fed information that is trying to be, it's like it's trying to be passed off as something positive, as something valuable, but it's really not. So it's a facade, it's a falsehood. So we have become aware of this as we are waking up on our ascension journeys. And so we have recognized that this is just someone else's version of what they think I should be, and we are discarding it. We've dismantled those belief systems, we've put the sugar away, the medicine off to the side, and we are becoming our own medicine. So as we tap into our inner wisdom, to the depths of our inner wisdom, to the depths where there are no words, to just the depths of that inner knowing, that solid knowing, that aligned path and purpose that we are reconnecting with on our journeys, we are putting that spoon aside and no longer allowing ourselves to be spoon-fed someone else's definition of ourselves, someone else's vision of ourselves. We're creating our own path and our own journey, our own definitions, our own new normals as we go forward, our own narratives. We're writing our own story as we go forward. So the energy that we're releasing with this symbol, again, in my practice, something comes through with as metal. It often means that the mind is involved a lot in processing these messages, and so we are releasing that kind of mental energy of really trying to figure that out. And what else are we releasing? So just continuing to ground the symbol. So what I'm doing now is I go back and forth with like sharing what information is coming through and then going quiet again. I'm just tuning into what the symbol is doing. And as a symbol heals, what typically happens for me is I will start to see it almost like, I don't know if you all are familiar with the painter Salvador Dali, but D-A-L-I with an apostrophe over the I. A lot of his paintings had these kind of surreal images of things that, real life objects that just look like they're melting and starting to just drain downward. And so for me, often, as a symbol heals and clears, that's what I'm seeing or sensing or knowing in my mind's eye, in my knowingness. And so as that happens, that's a sign for me that the energy is moving out of our energy field. And I do intend for these symbols to be for all of us, those who are watching now. But yes, I do intend them to be, hello V, I do intend them to be for anyone who will be watching going forward, and of course, including myself in that group. So as the symbol is doing that, sometimes it actually starts to break up like embers of a fire, and just it goes downward and downward toward the center of the earth, where the Earth Mother, the planet Earth, welcomes that energy and transforms that energy into healing energy that then can radiate up to us. So that is what I am starting to see now. And I continue to bring the energy of this symbol into the present moment and remind us all, remind the energy of this symbol that it is December 14th, 2025, and collectively we are very excited and very proud that we are recognizing and discerning on our ascension journey what serves us and what doesn't, and we are happy to release and let go of the predefined conceptions and notions that others have tried to impose upon us. We are able to recognize now what is a falsehood and what is not. We are able to recognize when someone is trying to, or something, or some circumstance, or some definition is trying to present as precious when it is not. So that silver-plated spoon, that illusion of that beautiful silver, that tarnish is falling away, and that spoon is melting down and disintegrating as we let go. So for me, I don't see the spoon anymore. It's gone all the way down and being absorbed by our beautiful planet Earth in the center, that magnetic core of the Earth. And so that to me is an indication that that energy that we were looking at, that the aquamarine dragons from Neptune wanted us to take a look at, is no longer in our collective energy field. And so just checking in to see if there are any more messages. But to me, this also feels like an affirmation as well, because it within this message, there's that acknowledgement of the place and stage where we're at with our healing, where we are recognizing the importance of what we need to do with that self-reflection, with that introspection, and we're doing it. We're doing that work, but just that reminder that, don't worry so much about naming it. Trust that gut feeling. When you get the butterflies in the stomach, or the hairs stand up on the back of your head, or your ears start to feel a little hot, or your palms start to sweat, those are signs and symbols that your spirit is communicating with you. Our spirits communicate with us through imagination, and so sometimes that is a part of that process as well. But these aquamarine dragons from Neptune are so happy to step in and help really with that deeper release, almost when you go, like, think about when you go to like a spa and you get a nice wonderful massage, or you go into the sauna and you just relax into that experience. So these are also actually things that we can do in our human life that allow for that deeper relaxation, that deeper settling in to that grounded feeling. So as we are doing these things in our human lives, remember that these dragons are here to help us on that healing journey as we're releasing those emotions and things that have been like in our bodies for so long, that are now shaken up and ready to release with all the work that we've been doing. So sometimes when you get into those pure emotions, there's not words for those emotions. They're just expressions of that joy or that sadness or, you know, that fear or that anger. And sometimes there's no words for those. So as our frequency is rising, as those lower energies are being shaken up, these aquamarine dragons from Neptune are just helping to pull that energy right out of our energy field. So, all right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, V. Hopefully I will successfully be able to make sure this is recorded, and I'll post it on my other social media sites. But blessings to you all. Thanks for watching. Until next time.